What's up YouTube, this is your man Buck and I'm here with my review of the Rainbow Six Siege beta. I recently heard the beta was extended until October 1st, so if you haven't had a chance, go sign up on their website and download the beta and try it for yourself and make your own opinions. But I'm here to give you my good and my bad and overall what I think of this beta. I had high expectations for Rainbow Six and the beta for me did not live up to the hype. I found some good, I found me having some fun with it, but I found a lot of things wrong with it and ended up being more annoyed than enjoying the beta. So I'll give you my good and then I'll give you my bad and tell you what I think needs to happen before this game launches. Let's start off with the good. We always have to focus on gameplay, and I believe the guns are very well done. They sound good, there's a good variety of weapons, and it actually feels like if you're using an SMG versus an AR, there is a discrepancy when you're at range, which it should be, versus using a shotgun. Shotguns will decimate at close range, but it doesn't seem like they snipe you from across the map like they do in other shooters. So I think the guns are very well balanced, and I think there's a good variety of weapons to use. And I believe that the characters, the different classes that you can choose from, are also good. There's, I believe, 20 something, I don't know the exact number, but I like the fact that there's a different variety and there's different weapons in each faction, so it allows you to choose your factions that to fit your playstyle. And there's also special abilities with every faction. For example, the Thermite class has the ability to cut through reinforced walls. So having these abilities and choosing these abilities wisely helps you and your team strategize your tactic. And I like the way that you can't choose the same operator, multiple times. So if you have a team of five people can't all use the same class. It forces you to use a variety of classes, and I really like that, because we know that once the game launches, there's going to be something OP that's found, and you don't want all 5 people on the same team using the same weapons and the same setup. It forces you to be tactical in the way that you pick your classes. So I really think they did that well. And another thing that necessarily the game didn't do, but I have respect for, is the community. The community is very vocal. Rainbow Six has a good community, not only on PC but on the console as well. So they have a good community going for them, and that's something that will help them be successful going forward. And really, that's about where the good stops. So I'm going to jump into the things that I did not like. I'm going to start off with level design. There was a couple of different maps. I believe there was like 4 maps during this beta, but they all seemed like I was playing the same map. They all have, a first floor, a second floor, and some type of basement. Doesn't matter what the map looks like on the outside. Once you get into the interior of the map, it feels the same. It doesn't matter what map you're playing, and I think that's something they need to change. I understand that the game has different areas that you need to attack, but maybe spread it out. Do a big warehouse that only has 1 level, but it's so large in square footage that it equates to the same amount of square footage as having 3 levels. Because when I go into a building now, someone goes downstairs, someone goes upstairs, and we try to find the enemy and then we converge. That's essentially how this game is being played, and I believe having different footprints will make it seem like we're not playing the same map over and over and over again, because if a game becomes repetitive, then you'll start to lose your fan base. The game modes, I don't know if this was just because of the beta, but I was playing the same game mode over and over and over and over again, and it got very repetitive. At first it was fun, but then once you're doing the same thing so many times, you tend to get burnout. And I really hope that there's way more game modes during the full launch of the game. I did a little bit of research. I couldn't find a whole lot of game modes. I know they're gonna have, to defuse the bomb you have 2 bombs, defend the site where there's 1 bomb and you have to defend it. That's all I could really find. I would hope there's some type of VIP mode or hostage mode, And there just needs to be a variety of game modes. It can't just be the game modes that we've seen during the beta, because it's going to burn out really quick. This game is a tactical shooter. Tactical shooters usually transition over to esports with seamlessly and no effort at all. It doesn't seem like this game is going to do that, for the fact that the servers are terrible. It took me forever queuing up solo. It took me forever to get into a game, and then once I got into a game, the servers crashed. And then I got into another game, which seemed like it took forever, and then the servers crashed. I don't know what's worse, these servers or confrontation servers. It is that bad. And the matchmaking isn't much better. I know they did some tweaking to it. They fixed it a little bit, but it still needs a lot of work. And if people, it doesn't matter how good your game is, if people cannot get into your game, you're not, the game's not going to last long. It's so frustrating. I can't really put the words to it right now, and I waited a couple days to do this video to try and get all my thoughts together, but that was so frustrating, because it doesn't matter if you have a diamond of a game. If your servers and your matchmaking is terrible, no one is going to want to play your game. So that needs to be addressed now. It needs to be addressed during the beta, so we can continue to test it as the beta was extended. And if you queue up as a full party, you find games a lot faster. But what tends to happen when you're going against a full party, your teammates tend to quit out. So if I'm in a full party and someone on the opposing team quits out, if they quit out when we're in the preparation phase, the game just freezes up, and then everyone has to leave the room. That's something else that needs to be addressed, because if we go through one round, we completely decimate that one round, and someone quits out while we're picking our characters, the game's going to freeze up, and then we all have to quit and go through the debacle, which is matchmaking all over again. It's terrible, and that's something that Ubisoft, you really need to address. There's no reason we should be having server issues. As big as a developer as you are, there's no reason for this. That's just a lack of commitment to your customers. And I briefly talked about esports. I want to get back into it. I wanted to talk about the matchmaking first. So now, esports. We need to have the ability, or not even esports, just competitive game battles matches, whatever you want to call it. We need to have the ability to create our own custom servers or our own lobbies, whatever you want to call it. Because if we rely on this matchmaking system, how can I find a match, or how can I compete against another team? Is there going to be a dedicated mode for competition, or is this just going to be strictly a casual game? Because if it's going to be strictly a casual game, it's not going to last long, because the game isn't fast-paced. The game isn't just pop it in, let me get a couple games in and hop off. This is designed for people to sit down, spend a couple hours playing. And people are going to want to create custom rooms, custom lobbies, have different rule sets, and be able to, compete against other groups, other clans, other teams, whatever you want to call it. But you can't do that the way the current servers are set up, because you just queue up for matchmaking and hope you get put in a game. Those things, they definitely need to be addressed. This game has potential, and I'm so sick of saying that. I've been saying it for the last 2 years. Game X has potential. Game Y has potential. This game has potential. I'm tired of games having potential. If you are 3 months away from launching this game and you've already delayed it, it should be complete. It shouldn't be 100%, but it should be like 95% complete 3 months away, or 99% complete for that matter. But this game seems far from complete. It seems very incomplete, and I feel another delay coming on, to be honest with you. So let me know your thoughts of Rainbow Six Siege down in the comment section below. If you haven't had a chance, go sign up, try the beta. It's on all platforms, Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Give it a try. Let me know your opinions after playing it. Do you feel this game will be successful? I had high hopes for this game. I thought it could, be one of the best shooters of this fall, especially with, Call of Duty going back to Treyarch, and the beta was good, but we wasn't sure how good it was compared to some other games. Destiny kind of going more the PvE route. The PvP is it's okay in Destiny, but it's mainly a PvE type game. And Battlefield not releasing, a game this fall, besides the well, I guess EA is doing the Star Wars, but there's not a Battlefield being dropped this fall. It seems like this fall is open for shooters to, for a new shooter to emerge. And Rainbow Six, you could have been that shooter, but you've done so many things wrong, and there's so many things that are just incomplete, that I feel like the game to play this fall is going to be Black Ops 3. I feel that this game, if they fix the servers, it could get better, but I'll still wait and see. I had high hopes, but I brought it down a notch. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, just this beta. Oh, before I rate it, I heard something else, that there's no longer going to be a campaign for Rainbow Six Siege. So with no campaign, that means you're putting all your resources towards the multiplayer. The multiplayer should be perfect. It should be as close to perfect as you can get, because all your resources are going towards this. And I don't know when the campaign was scrapped, but it, man, Ubisoft, you just have a lot of work to do. You have to get this game right, because you're going up against Call of Duty, and I believe the boys over at Activision and Treyarch, they just let out a huge sigh of relief, because this is not going to compete with Black Ops 3. You have a lot of things to do. You need to, I know you're launching 10 maps. We didn't see them all during the beta, but they don't all need to be, basement, first story, second story. Needs to be a variety in the level design. You need to get your game modes on point, and you need to fix the servers and the matchmaking. So that's going to be the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel grow. Make sure to check out the Digital Fire podcast Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/BigFryTV. I'm your man, Buck. Peace. Thanks for dropping by. I'm just going to let the rest of this gameplay roll out.